everyone, my name is Bilikis. You're welcome to a brand new tutorial. Are you subscribed to this channel? If not, just take some time to hit on the red button and tap on the notification bell. Today's tutorial will be on a high-low circle top or dress, however way you like it. But I will show you the procedure, then you can decide whichever one you want to make for yourself. I'll just make it longer than the top, so it will be in between the top and the dress. Then I can put on pantyhose or whatever underneath it. And do not forget to follow me on Instagram, the Key Signatures, on Facebook. Our Facebook group is Sewing Innovation. Will be waiting for you there. I'll be making use of this fabric. So this is the width of the dress, this is the length of the dress. So all I have to do now is to fold it diagonally. You should be used to that by now, because it will have a half circle for the front, a half circle for the back. So that will make it a full circle dress or a top, depending on what you want. So this is how I will fold it. I will fold it well and show you. Now that the fold has been secured, the next thing now is to determine your shoulder line. So what I will do, half of my shoulder measurement is 8.5, but I'll just make it 9. So this is 9, and I'll use my ruler. The cut is just all over the place. So I have 9, and I'll draw a straight line. So I have my straight line. For the shoulder slope, we just have to make the 3 inches, 8 inches standard. 3 inches and 8 inches standard. So this is the 8 inches. Then from here, I'll come down by 1 inch. I'll use my ruler to connect it to the 3 inches points. Now I have my shoulder slope. You see that? So the next thing now, for the neck depth, I want it to be maybe 3.5 inches is okay. So 3.5 inches is here. Then for the shoulder width, I'll just make it 4 inches. So this is 3 inches, and the remaining one will be along this slopey line. So this is it here. Now I'll take my armhole curve of my fabric. Can you see that? Then for the armhole, half of my armhole is 8.5, but because I would just want to ignore the shoulder hemming allowance, but you could add it. So instead of that, you could just make it 9 inches if you don't want to add it. But if I want to go by the normal way, I'll just make it 8.5. So 8.5 is here. So because this is being folded on bias diagonally, so by the time you open up your fabric after cutting, there's a tendency this will be peeking out of your shoulder. So what you will do is this: just remove 1 inch. That is if you are adding sleeve, or you just want it to be normal sleeveless. 1 inch from whatever your shoulder measurement is. But if you want it to go inner, then you can decide. If you want it to be 2 inches, 3 inches, then you can decide from your neck width, and then you mark it here. But if you want the normal one for sleeve, all you have to do is to remove 1 inch from your shoulder measurement. Half of my shoulder measurement is 8.5. So that means I will be using 7.5 inches. That is if I want it to have sleeve. Don't make that mistake. The reason is because we are folding diagonally, so there's tendency for it to stretch out. So but I want it to go inward, so I'll just go in by 2 inches or 1.5. 1.5 is okay for me. So this is what I have here, and I'll take my armhole curve and connect from this point. I just have to work gently because of my fabric just all over the place. So then my armhole is done. Likewise my neck depth. The next thing now is to add the shoulder seam allowance. But I told you, if you just want to ignore that, you just make your armhole 9 inches. If you don't want to go through the stress of adding seam allowance at the shoulder area, so 1/2 inch. I'll connect with my ruler. I just have to work gently because of the fabric, so I'm being slow about it. So having done this now, the next thing is to determine the length of the dress. We will work with the back part first because we have to cut the longer one. The front one will be shorter. So for the back, I want it to be 39-40 inches. So it depends on what you want. If you want it to be a top, you can just make it like 29 inches and then the front will be like 25. But I want mine to be 39 or 40 inches. I'm not really sure, but let's just make it 40 inches with the hemming allowance. And then for the front, I will make it 28 inches. So now I will be working with 40 and 28. So 40, just place it at this edge and I'll measure out 40. That means I have to pull up my fabric. Now I've pulled up the fabric. The neck depth have been worked on and the armhole. So now I said I want the back to be 40. So that means our normal dress or top will be 40 inches. So this is 40. Then I'll keep rotating and just move it along the straight line, 40 inches. Can you see that? And I'll keep moving 40. Make sure you move along this straight line. So I started this way, 40, 40, 40, 40. Can you see that? So 40. Then I move again, 40. Then I'll have to pull this backward. Going again. That's the initial line we drew for the shoulder. So this is 40. And for the last one, 40. Now I have to make it into a circular form. Haven't drawn out the. So now haven't drawn out the circle. Can you see that? So for the front, I won't cut this out, I'll cut the back. But for the front, since I said I want it to be 27, so it will be, 28 with hemming allowance. So this is 28. Let me see that. From here, I'll just move in a bit again. 20, 28.5, or 29, depending on what you want. Now make it 29. So now it is this line that you now join. Can you see that? You keep joining it. The chalk is not showing so well because of the fabric. So I'll have to connect it to the end. So this is for the front, this is for the back. So I'll have to connect this in a circular form to the back. But first let's cut out the longer version. Now pull it down to cut off the neckline and the armhole area. Don't forget the hemming allowance at the shoulder and the armhole. In case you don't want a full circle, you can just cut a little flare. So this is what it looks like. Let me just show you. Can you see that circular effect? Can you see that? Only that the front will be shorter. So now I will fold for the other part. Now I've placed the first and the second one. Make sure everything aligns. Then I can cut it off. We can now go back to cut to trim up the front one. Now is being cut out, I'll have to remove this for the back, then start working on the front part. Now for the front, you can decide to curve it anyhow you like. This way, you can decide to make it more curvier. That depends on you. So straight to the angle. So now I have to cut that in a circular form. And just eyeball it. It is only the folded part that will come up, not the other part that is open. And that is it. Once this is done, I'll just show you how it looks. Can you see that? Isn't this beautiful? Can you see that? It's so nice, it's so beautiful. So how you have to do it is to just join the front and back together. Can you see what I was talking about? That you just have to remove 1 or 1.5 from your shoulder measurement, because we cut this diagonally, so there is tendency for it to stretch out. Can you see that? So that was why I told you that. So it is as good as done. This is the result of the high-low dress. You can make it a top, you just make it shorter at the back and it comes upward. I just have to join the shoulder and the side just for you to see how it looks. Can you see the front, the back? Just finish up the neckline and the armhole area with a bias strip, or better still if you want to add sleeves to it. If my tutorial has been helpful, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, tell your friends about it. Bye.